perks in Call of Duty Zombies are there to help you survive, but which 5 are the worst of them all? Let's take a look. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be counting down the top 5 worst perks in World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 Zombies. Now remember guys, there are only 12 perks in these 3 Call of Duties, so the top 5 and the bottom 5 almost overlap. There's only 2 perks which won't make either list, so maybe they're not as bad as I'm making them out to be. Also, just quickly guys, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you can help me out and subscribe, it does really mean a lot, and hopefully I can get to 1,000 subscribers soon. So anyway, enough waffling, let's begin. And coming in at the number 5 spot, we have Mule Kick from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Now, Mule Kick is the most expensive perk in Zombies. It costs 4,000 points, and it allows you to have a third weapon, which is really useful if it works out. Now what I mean by this is Mule Kick is a high risk, high reward perk. So you buy Mule Kick for 4,000 points, you then say you hit the box or you buy a war weapon, and then you got 3 guns, and it's all good. But then you go down and you are now just lost 4,000 points plus the money you spent in obtaining your third weapon, and of course now you've been set back quite far. And in the early rounds, 4,000 points is a lot of money. That's a big investment, sort of gone down the drain. So Mule Kick is, like I said, it is high risk, high reward. But if it pays off, Mule Kick is an absolute game changer. Having 3 weapons instead of 2 helps you out massively. But the fact that you can lose Mule Kick, lose your third gun, lose your money, and then it can screw you over massively. It can screw you over. So that's the only problem I have with Mule Kick. It's one of those perks where sometimes I'll buy it, sometimes I won't. It just sort of depends like what mood I'm in. It's a bit like a grey area for me. So not the worst perk, but I just think it can be really good or really bad. So that's the only problem that I have with it. But so it comes in at number 5. The number 4 spot belongs to Deadshot Daiquiri from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Now, Deadshot Daiquiri is the joint cheapest perk in Zombies. It only costs 1,500, and it basically increases it basically allows you to get headshots a lot easier. But when you aim down sight, the character will automatically aim at the zombie's head, which obviously makes headshots a lot easier, and it also increases your hip fire accuracy as well. Now, it's just the problem I have with this perk is there's always something out there which is better. So take, I don't know, Mob of the Dead for example. You're going to buy Juggernog, Double Tap 2, Speed Cola, and your last perk is most likely going to be Electric Cherry. And Deadshot Daiquiri just sort of sitting there in the infirmary by itself. No one really ever buys it because it's just there's more perks that are there's perks out there which are just more beneficial to you. Like Call of the Dead for example, like in this clip, you're gonna buy Juggernog, Speed Cola, Quick Revive if you're playing on solo, and then your last perk is gonna be maybe Stamina Up, maybe PhD Flopper, maybe Mule Kick like we just spoke about. So there's always sort of a better perk out there. It's not the fact that Deadshot is a bad perk, it's just the fact that you don't really need it. Like, you don't need this perk to get headshots, you know what I mean? You can still kill zombies by shooting them in the head without this perk. So all it does, it just sort of skips out a very small step when it comes to getting headshots on zombies. So, but then again, it is only 1,500, so you can't complain too much. But I just think it's one of those perks where there's just something out there which is just more beneficial. So that's the reason why it comes in at number 4. Moving on to the number 3 spot, we have Double Tap 1 from World at War and Black Ops 1. Now, Double Tap is of course one of the original 4 perks along with Juggernog, Speed Cola and Quick Revive. And the problem that I have with Double Tap 1 is it's only partially beneficial. Now what I mean by this is it's only really effective on certain weapons. So the HK-21 from Black Ops 1, the bar from World at War, and any sort of like pump action shotgun. So the trench gun, like you can see in this clip, and also the stakeout from Black Ops 1, they're only really the guns or the weapons where double tap 1 is effective on. If you take any other sort of standard fully automatic weapon like the Type 100 or the Thompson, MP40, you know, I don't know, the MPL, anything like that, there's no point buying double tap 1. It doesn't really help out much. It just increases your fire rate by 25%, which on paper sounds useful. You're thinking, oh, you know, you kill zombies quicker, but of course that means that you burn through ammo a lot quicker. So, you know, it's one of those perks where it only works with certain weapons. If you're a fan of the trench gun, or you know, the HK21, and of course by all means buy double tap. I think it's really useful for those perks, but majority of the time, you know, there's not really going to be much point in buying double tap 1, so it comes in at number 3. Moving on to the number 2 spot, we have Tombstone from Black Ops 2. Now, Tombstone was introduced in Transit, and it's also in Town as well. And Tombstone is just, I mean, it's just quite a bad perk. So the previous 3 perks that we mentioned aren't bad, but Tombstone is a bad perk. So what it does is, if you don't know, when you buy Tombstone, when you go down, you can actually like kill yourself fully, prematurely, by holding down the X button, or I think it's square on PlayStation, and then you can kill yourself, and you know, and then you know, you wait until the next round. But the problem with that is, if you have a, you know, if you're playing with 3 other players and all 3 of your teammates go down and they all have Tombstone and they'll kill themselves, that means that you're left by yourself, you know, on round, say 20, whatever round you're on, and you've got 4 times the amount of zombies running after you, and you know, it makes your life a whole lot harder because your teammates have all just sort of left you, and that can actually end the game fully, you know, prematurely, than if you didn't get Tombstone. So it's just, it doesn't really serve much purpose, if that makes sense. Like, also on Transit, say if you go down at the, I don't know, at the power station, for example, you go down there, you spawn in, and now you're at the diner. Now you've got to make your way back to where you died at the power station, armed with only the starting pistol and nothing else, and chances of you getting there aren't exactly very high, are they? So it's just, I don't know, it doesn't always really work. There's just a weird perk, I think. I don't really have much more to say about it. It's just quite a bad perk, so it comes in at number 2. But there's one perk out there which is even worse than Tombstone, and it is of course Who's Who. Now, English words are insufficient to describe how stupid this perk is. So it costs 2,000 points, which is the same as double tap 2, and it's one of those perks where it actually what's the word I'm looking for? It's harmful to you. It actually does the complete opposite of what a perk should do. So you buy Who's Who, you go down, and you then spawn in again in like some sort of weird ghost sort of life, and you've got to revive yourself where you went down previously. You've got to revive yourself when you've got all of the zombies running after you, and you've only got the starting pistol, the M1 911, and the game thinks that you're capable of reviving yourself without any, you know, you got no perks, you got nothing, and you've got to try and revive yourself with all the zombies running after you, and somehow you're supposed to do that. I mean, it's just 99 times out of 100 that is an impossible task. You know, you've got to be a really good trainer, or you got to have some trick up your sleeve if you are going to be able to revive yourself. You know, it's just an absolute just dreadful perk. Also on Die Rise, the only map which this perk is on, if you get quick revive and Who's Who, for some reason Who's Who will take priority. So when you go down with quick revive and Who's Who, you won't actually use your quick revive with the Mustangs and Sally. You'll actually be given the Who's Who, as you can see in this clip. This is what would happen. So Who's Who takes priority over quick revive, which I think is just the most imbecilic thing Treyarch really could have done. So see in this clip here, I have absolutely no chance of reviving myself without going down. It's just, I don't think there's anybody on this planet who thinks Who's Who is a good perk. So, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, Who's Who is the worst perk by a mile. So it comes in at the number 1 spot. So thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It of course does always mean a lot. And leave your thoughts down below in the comment section of your top 5 worst perks in World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 zombies. Also, just lastly, I have made an entire playlist based on different top 5 zombie lists. So if you are interested, please make sure that you check them out as well. So thank you again for watching, and we'll be back soon with another video. Goodbye.
We'll be right back.